If you're setting your freelance rates by what you think feels fair, you're probably undercharging. Look, I did that for months. And in the end, I was busy, stressed, making a decent amount of money, but definitely not where I wanted to be. So I want to tell you the framework that I now use to make sure that I'm pricing properly. I'm Mark. I'm building a paid social agency from the ground up. And pricing is definitely something I had to learn a lot about and quickly. Learning how to price in a way that protects my time, but also matches my value. And so when I consider what my rate should be based on, I come to three things. Your costs. So what do you need to take home every month so you can pay for your rent, bills, savings, tax, everything? Your capacity. How many billable hours do you actually have? And don't just think about it like a 40-hour week, because you need to take into account the planning, the calls, the time that you actually need to think about what you're going to be doing. And finally, your value. What outcome are you actually getting for your clients? Say you can make them an extra 10k a month. If you're only charging them £300, it feels like there's a mismatch there. When you're first starting out and you're trying to figure out your rates, you have a tendency to go cheaper. I certainly did. And the moment I stopped undercharging was the moment I realized that cheap doesn't really equate to loyalty. It just equates to more requests. And after having a conversation with a mentor of mine where he told me how I should really be pricing more like a business rather than an individual, I started to set more boundaries around my scope. Here's a rough example. Let's say you want to take home £5,000 a month. Add tax and expenses and we'll call it 7.5 in revenue. Now say realistically you have 60 billable hours a month. That's 125 quid an hour before you even adjust for the value. If the work is high impact or high urgency, remember your price goes up, not down. And if 125 quid an hour sounds like a crazy amount to be charging a client, just remember it doesn't all have to come from one client. But another thing to consider is how we account for all the added extras that might come along during conversation. For example, if a client wants just one more thing, need to scope that out. If they want it to come a bit faster, that's a rush fee. If you're booked out, then your price goes up. And if you're feeling guilty about charging more, remember, you're not charging for your time. You're charging for the outcome and the responsibility. If you want, comment rate and I'll share with you the exact spreadsheet that I use to quickly calculate what my rate should be on a new project. Or tell me what you charge and what you do and we can sanity check it.